The Cabinet Office has announced that the Independence Day holiday will be observed on Tuesday, July 10th. In a statement released today, the Cabinet also announced that shops are not allowed to open for business on that day. Meantime, employees who are required to work during this holiday should be treated as non-shift workers, and employers are to ensure that the provisions of Section 10, subsection A of the Employment Act 2001 should apply in respect to the payment of wages. Only 6 days to go now until the Bahamas celebrates its 39th anniversary of independence, and final plans for all celebrations are underway. This Friday will be observed as National Flag Day. The observance encourages Bahamians to demonstrate their patriotism by wearing gold, aquamarine, and black. National Pride Day activities will be held in Rosin Square and start off with the official opening of an exhibition on the contributions of Bahamians. Ida Poitier is coordinator.
The national flag raising ceremony will take place immediately after the opening, and free entertainment will be provided in the square until 5 p.m. Food and craft vendors will be located on the northern side of Rawson Square throughout the afternoon, with various Bahamian delicacies and craft items on display. All persons throughout the country are encouraged to display their pride by raising the flag throughout the land and wearing our national colors of aquamarine, gold, and black.
Well, how's your Bahamian history IQ? We asked some of you today in light of the independence celebrations to test your knowledge of trivia. Here's a look at how you did with our Carla Palmer.
The colors of black, gold, and aqua in the Bahamian flag, the coat of arms, the pink flamingo, the blue marlin, the lignum vitae tree, the yellow elder, and the national anthem are all instruments symbolic of our country's independence. Information that Bahamian children, you could say, are taught from a very early age. Or are they?
What's our national bird?
Flamingo.
What's our national fish?
Cuba, I believe. No.
What's the national tree?
National tree, as far as I know, is the yellow elder. No.
What's the national flower?
The yellow elder, right.
Okay. So what's the national tree?
The national tree, the lignum vitae.
Okay. What's the national fish?
National fish, blue marlin.
Okay. Who wrote the national anthem?
Timothy Ingram. No, really now.
What's the national fish?
Well, is it grouper, so...
No. What's the national fish?
See, there you go. I don't know the national fish.
What's the national bird?
Flamingo.
Okay.
The blue marlin is national fish.
Okay. What's the national tree?
The hibiscus.
What's the national tree?
National tree? Bougainvillea. Hibiscus.
What's the national flower?
Hibiscus.
What's the national fish?
Blue marlin or grouper.
Who wrote the national anthem?
I gave you that one.
Perhaps some of the responses could be termed as momentary lapses of memory. But what excuses account for these incorrect responses?
Our national flower would be the lignum vitae.
That's our national tree. What's our national fish?
Blue marlin.
Okay. Tell me the colors of the flag.
That would be black, yellow, and blue.
Okay. Who wrote the national anthem?
Two high school students.
What's the national tree? Ponciano. What's the national flower?
Bougainvillea.
What's the national tree?
I know she was gonna do that on me.
What's the national fish?
National fish is the blue marlin.
What's the national flower?
You could very well laugh until you cry, but is it a laughing matter? In hindsight, this resident, Trevor Major, offers his apology and is calling on Bahamians to review the history of the Bahamas.
Oh, they teach me in school, you know. Well, I don't know if they're teaching that in school now, you know what I mean?
But they should be.
Yeah, they should be, you know what I mean? And even more so now that we come from there to now, there's so much stuff that went down in history that a lot of people need to get the accolades for too, and that should be taught in school also.
Major acknowledges that national pride should come with knowing your country's history, and every Bahamian, he says, should share in this responsibility. Carla Palmer, ZNS News.
Well, hoping to get a little closer to the communities we cover, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas has taken its countdown to independence on the road. Since Monday, our Good Morning Bahamas show and the National Report, along with Immediate Response, have been in communities around New Providence talking about the history of those areas and featuring plans to reclaim one community at a time. Our Shanique Miller was there today.
Their faces are young and expectant, but behind these graceful moves are young girls who are headed in the wrong direction, a future almost certain to end up on the wrong side of the tracks.
I used to fight. I used to fight a lot. Now, when my mommy talk to me, I don't walk away. I just listen to her. I say, yes, mom. No, mom. I doing good in school now. I didn't fight for my come to school.
Andisha is part of a dance troupe at International Praying Deliverance Ministries. Popular pastor, the singing bishop, Lawrence Roll, put thought into action to quickly rescue her and about 50 others.
They are falling through the cracks. A lot were getting pregnant and bringing in babies and etc. And most of the young men, them don't even take care of these children.
Bishop Roll's community outreach extends beyond creating a female dance troupe. He's also formed a 33-member choir for young boys. They come from areas surrounding his 2nd Street The Grove Church. 17-year-old Rebecca Roll talks about the program's impact.
Because of the troupe, we are not into negativity no more. It helps me a lot. Because of God, I'm dancing, and because of God, I'm going to meet the president. And I just love dancing.
It's helped her so much, in fact, that Rebecca's grades have turned around tremendously. Come January 2013, she will travel to the United States to meet U.S. President Barack Obama.
It's not an easy challenge because from day to day people flock to churchyard. From day to day people calls upon you. The command and the demand is so high. In the next 5 years, this country is going to have a lot of young leaders, and we have to teach them how to be honest, sincere, and look out for the citizens. We can only look out for them and help them to make sure everything is covered with them, but we're going to have to take the bull by its horn in this country.
Here in Montel Heights, it's another community initiative underway. This community center is about 2 weeks away from completion, but even before the doors open, the impact is already being felt.
We must get the youngsters and everybody to feel a part of the community. And that is why we get them into the building of the community. Because, see, once they had a hand in it, in the planning of it, in the erection of it and all that, then they will want to protect the building rather than destroy it.
Veteran civil servant and former principal E.J. Bowe says the community center will also offer opportunities to enhance skills.
We hire, so to speak, the fellows them in the area to work along with the trained, skilled person and pay them a stipend, so they'll be able to learn, some of them are able to learn the carpentry work, laying of tile, plumbing, electrical work.
It's a unique concept that I have in my mind, which is not to tell the people what to do. Simply ask them, how can we help?
Inspector Kendall Smith heads the Anglerston Urban Renewal Program. He says the approach of his team is to empower residents so that they take ownership of the community. Bowe says the goal is simple.
If we could save one child from going astray, then our labor will not have been in vain.
Shanique Miller, ZNS News.
Well, the Anglerston Community Park is a meeting spot for the young and old. It's also the setting for a number of community projects and events. Today, a group of 8 stopped at the park as part of an international missions trip. The group is part of the Methodist Church. They came armed with paint and paintbrushes to spruce up the area. Our news team spoke with Reverend Maury Griffin. The Montana-based pastor says he and his team are happy to lend a hand.
We were very happy to be here with you, celebrating both of our independences, especially today, July 4th. We're very excited to be here. We've been warmly welcomed by the community, by the Bahamians and the Haitians both. We're very thankful. We look forward to spending more time the rest of the week. We'll be here in the park through tomorrow. We'll be leaving Saturday. We're going to do some tourist sightseeing on Friday. But we really appreciate the opportunity to spread God's love in this way.
Today, the United States is celebrating its 236th anniversary of independence. Over the past 2 centuries, Americans around the world continue to celebrate the 4th of July and commemorate the historic day when 56 men dared to stand up for freedom, officially declaring the U.S. a sovereign nation. Last night, the United States Embassy here in the Capitol, in partnership with the U.S. Northern Command, celebrated with a reception in Nassau Harbor at the Prince George Wharf on board the USS Anzio, a military vessel based in Norfolk, Virginia. Charge d'Affaires John Dinkelman, during the ceremony, reminded those in attendance of the sacrifices of America's founding fathers.
The true success that is America is the successful establishment of a system through which the average person may reap the rewards of their own hard work and enjoy their own right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This has historically attracted and will undoubtedly continue to attract new citizens to our country who are also in search of freedom, diversity, and prosperity. However, as President Obama has cautioned, all of this could only happen because of our founders' central faith that through democracy and individual rights, ordinary people have it within their means to forge a nation that's more just, more equal, and more free.
Governor General His Excellency Sir Arthur Foulkes, in his remarks, stated that the Bahamas and the U.S. share the same aspirations for the perfection of our democracies. Sir Arthur said that both countries strive for peace, security, and prosperity for all of its people. The Governor General also said that both countries have a common fight against smuggling of humans and drug trafficking and trading of illegal firearms. Additionally, Sir Arthur thanked the U.S. for its continued help and assistance and generosity during disasters.
No one can deny that the United States of America has in 236 years made astonishing progress in becoming the greatest economic and military power in the world has ever seen. But while the United States celebrates 236 years of independence, we are only celebrating our 39th year as a small but proud, independent, and democratic state. We have always been a good neighbor to the United States, not just since our own independence, but throughout the colonial era. And the United States has been a good neighbor to us.
Americans visiting the Bahamas say while there are still some challenges facing their country, like unemployment and a slow economy, they're still proud to be American. LaDawn Davis took to the streets today to find out what visitors had to say this 4th of July.
They contribute millions of dollars to our #1 industry each year. And with 236 years as an independent nation, these Americans visiting the Bahamas for the first time this 4th of July say their country, like any other country, has been through its trials and struggles. But despite it all, they are more than proud to be American.
It's a big struggle. I mean, we have our first black American, African-American president, and it's to see how much progress we made and how much progress we need to still make. So it's really to see how these times are changing, but yet there's still a lot of work to do. Yeah.
It really means a lot. You know, we've come a long way, you know, as Americans to gain our independence, and you know, it's a special time and a special celebration. I think not just for America, but for every country that's celebrating their independence, whether they're doing it on the 4th of July or the 10th of July or the 1st of July, as Canadians do it. It's just a nice time to celebrate because you never know how much longer you'll have to celebrate your independence.
I love America. It's an amazing place. I served my country. I was in the United States Army, so I'm proud to be an American.
A few visitors also commented on their upcoming elections in November.
It's going to be very close this year, very close. That's about it.
We want a new man, Romney. Obama's got to go.
So what will Americans visiting the Bahamas for the very first time do to celebrate this 4th of July?
Well, I heard the Atlantis is going to have a great celebration. And I think if you venture off towards that section, they're supposed to have a lot of entertainment. So I'm hoping, it's true to what they say it is.
We're doing a dinner with the family tonight. We come in and off a cruise, so just kind of hang out with the family and enjoy each other's company.
First time celebrating it on a Caribbean island, so it's very different. We're missing the fireworks and the extravaganza that happens in New York every year. But we're hoping we have some fireworks here.
It's definitely going to be weird to not have anything that we're used to in our country in terms of seeing the flag everywhere and having the parades and the fireworks at night. So it's going to be a little different experience today.
Interested in seeing what they're going to actually do. Obviously, this being Bahamas, not the U.S., how they're going to actually acknowledge our independence here. And that's really great to see that these organizations are at least recognizing it and showing the camaraderie that between the different countries.
LaDawn Davis, ZNS News.
Welcome to tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Let's take a look at what's making business news today. A recent customer service satisfaction survey gave the Nassau Airport Development Company, managers of Lynden Pinling International Airport, a score of 4.05 out of 5. In a press release issued earlier this week, NAT officials indicated that quarterly surveys conducted by Airport Service Quality were conducted to determine overall and traveler satisfaction. The local daily reporting that 3 members of the Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants Council met with representatives of the International Federation of Accountants and the World Bank during the 2012 Caribbean Conference of Accountants in Antigua. Immediate past President Julian Roll, First Vice President Zelma Wilson, and Second Vice President Reese Chipman participated in meetings that discussed initiatives related to the development of accounting institutes in the Caribbean. In international business, Bob Diamond, who resigned as Barclays chief executive on Tuesday in the wake of the interbank interest rate fixing scandal, has called the behavior of those responsible, quote, reprehensible. He said he only found out about the true extent of the rigging this month. Remember, you can send us an email or join us on www.znsbahamas.com or become our friend on ZNS's official Facebook page. And that will end tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Thanks so much for watching.